Let's talk about hearing aid pricing in 2023. Hearing aid technology is rapidly advancing. In addition to this, inflation is also rapidly growing as well, which means the value of the US dollar is declining, which means it will take more dollars to buy hearing aids people typically bought before. My name is Emily. This video is unique because I am a hearing aid wearer myself. I've worn hearing aids since I was 4 months old, and if anyone knows about how expensive they are, my family and I know. Buying hearing aids can be a big financial burden. That said, they can also be a huge blessing in your life. I hope you stick around to the end of this video because if you do, I will share some resources that you should check out so you can see if you are eligible for hearing aid purchase assistance. The FDA recently approved the sale of OTC or over-the-counter hearing aids. This means that more hearing devices are hitting the market. OTC hearing aids mean that people can get hearing aids without having to visit a doctor or an audiologist. They can self-fit these hearing aids. These hearing aids, they can be qualified as hearing aids rather than hearing amplifiers, can meet people's physical needs to hear, and therefore have really caused the market to have a lot of price competition. That said, OTC hearing aids are self-fit hearing aids, which means hard of hearing people are buying their own hearing aids and fitting them themselves. Hearing aids are not like glasses in terms of when you have glasses, you put them on and you either see well or you can't. With hearing aids, you put them in, I put my hearing aids in, and quite frankly, I don't know what I don't hear. So if I bought myself an OTC hearing aid and put it in, I might think I'm hearing everything that I think that I know I'm hearing, but there could be a lot of things that I'm not hearing. Not to mention, if I'm not hearing well, it causes a lot of tension in my personal relationships with others and with myself. When I don't hear well, I really tend to start ganging up on myself, talking negatively, being like, oh, you should have heard that, or why did you lose that thing, or things like that. And so I have noticed as I take care of my hearing health, I feel better mentally and emotionally, and I function better socially. So what I'm trying to say here is when I say how much you should expect to pay for hearing aids in 2023, keep in mind that you're not just buying hearing aids, you are buying your ability to hear better. Sometimes you can't always understand better, but you certainly hear more than you would otherwise. So how much should you expect to pay for hearing aids in 2023? The answer to this is a price range, anywhere from $1,500 to $3,500 per ear. Now, keep in mind that there is no clean-cut pricing structure anywhere online. This is because for the big 5 brands, I will name them, these are reputable hearing aid brands. These are the Nikes and the Adidas of the hearing aid market. And these brands are ReSound, Phonak, Oticon, Widex, and Starkey. I want to mention that Widex is the parent company of Signia, which also bought out Siemens. I have worn Siemens, Phonak, and ReSound hearing aids, and I have loved them all. I will say ReSound and Phonak are most known for the best organic or natural sounding sound for people with sensory neural hearing losses. That's the type of hearing loss I have. Now, an important part in this hearing aid pricing is this pricing structure includes your visits to the audiologist, them fitting the hearing aids to your ears. This should include them taking an audiogram to understand what your loss is, and then doing a REM test or a real ear measurement test. It essentially is a few wires that go in with your hearing aid, and they ensure that your hearing aid is delivering the proper amplification that your hearing loss needs. It's critical. A lot of people oversee this real ear measurement test. Additionally, sometimes the hearing aid purchase price can include batteries, ear molds, and so much more. I will say in my past experience, my hearing aid purchases have not included batteries and ear molds. It typically will include hearing aid maintenance though. That includes changing out tubes from ear molds. So when you're trying to price out your hearing aids, I definitely recommend that you understand what all you are getting. When you buy a Big Five brand hearing aid, a really reputable, high quality hearing aid, it will be anywhere from $1,500 to max, I'd say $3,000. The reason I gave the $3,500 threshold is because that could be the additional charge for the limitless amount of times you need to go back to have your hearing aids programmed to your loss. So I'm sorry that it's not a specific number. Honestly, services vary everywhere. So I highly recommend visiting a licensed audiologist near you. Figure out what your hearing loss is. That means have them do an audiogram on you. Figure out what recommendations they have and try those hearing aids, commitment, risk-free, for 30 days. Realize that it will take you more than 30 days to get used to a hearing aid, but you can usually tell pretty quickly whether or not a hearing aid is going to work for you. If you want to rip it out of your ear right away, it's either because you have such a severe loss that's been unaided for a while, or the sound processing and quality just isn't great for you. So try another hearing aid. See if that one feels better. I think it's better to try things out and say like, yeah, I tried it and I loved it. Or yeah, I tried it, but I didn't love it. At least you know what you love and don't love. Give yourself a shot. You might be surprised that you find that you love it. For me personally, I love my hearing aids. I wear ReSound ones. These were gifted to me by ReSound, and I deeply, deeply appreciate their contribution. I will say I don't typically accept gifted hearing devices because trying new hearing aids is an emotional experience. That is a video topic for another day, but long story short, hearing aids aren't like shoes. You can't just go find a shoe that fits and magically run off into the sunset. No, your brain has to get used to the new sounds and the new way that everything sounds, and it can be overwhelming and an emotional process, like I said. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of this video. So like I said, hearing aids are expensive. That sticker price of anywhere from $1,500 to $3,500 per ear can be overwhelming. So here are some resources I want you to look into to see if you qualify to have help getting hearing aids. Number one, check out your state. Go to Google and Google your state insurance hearing aid coverage. See if there are any laws that require private insurances to cover hearing aids for you. If there are, follow their instructions, make that happen. Next, you can Google your state plus vocational rehabilitation services. If you are an adult that wants to work and your hearing loss keeps you from being able to function normally without hearing devices, then vocational rehabilitation services can potentially help you buy hearing aids so that you can work. I have used this myself and I highly recommend it. Next, Google local nonprofits that provide hearing aids in your area. Next, maybe you need to hold a fundraiser. Consider selling t-shirts that say, "Help your name here," or things like that. But I just want to say you could be surprised at how many people would be willing to give to help you here. I hope you enjoyed these recommendations. Which of these would you most likely utilize to help buy your next set of hearing aids? I would love to hear in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Keep in mind that buying hearing aids is difficult, but as you become educated about what your hearing loss is, the recommended hearing devices for your hearing loss, you test them out, and you shop around for that particular model, you may be amazed to find that you have been missing out on hearing a lot. And I hope that if you're like me, you'll realize that you love hearing and understanding the things in the world around you. Thanks so much for watching. Stay strong, stay amazing, and have a great day.